This episode of GameScoop is sponsored by Hims.
Come get some. Beware,
IGN GameScoop.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN GameScoop. I'm your host, Damon Hadfield. Joining me this week is Sam Claiborne.
Hey, everybody.
CJ Gibson.
What's up?
And Mark Medina.
Hi, catchphrase.
And we have a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about those alleged 2 new Switch models that we're getting this year, according to the Wall Street Journal, who has never been wrong about anything.
Ever. They didn't even couch it as a rumor. They're just like, this is happening this year.
Yeah, this is happening.
It was
I thought
weird
it was an announcement.
because Shigeru Miyamoto had the byline on the article, which I thought was just unusual, because we've asked him to write for us before.
Yep. His
Journalism
famous
jokes.
His famous byline, Shiggy Miyamoto is what he goes by. So much to talk about this week. We also got to talk about Sony's State of Play, Apple Arcade, this Lord of the Rings Golem game.
Oh my God, what a bad idea.
That's why I'm here. That's this week's why I'm here. To talk about Lord of the Rings stuff.
But first, one last quick reminder that I will be at PAX this week and hosting a GameScoop panel with Brian Altano, Seth Macy, and Cindy Goodman. That's this Thursday, March 28th, 12:30 p.m. in the Albatross Theater. If you're going to be there at PAX that day, please come and hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you sure it's not the Albatross Theater?
That could be a typo. Yeah, sure, it might be Albatross.
Do you guys know what Albatross is?
Nope.
It's the little albatrosses in Super Mario Brothers 2 that drop bombs.
So I was going to say that or make a Bionic Commando reference.
Yeah, and you can ride on top of them.
But that's Albatross.
That's true. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's probably what this is in a reference to. I don't know, does PAX get to name their rooms?
Yeah, I think there might be the convention center that names them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then it's just probably named after the bird.
That seems likely.
It's the bird of Boston, the Albatross.
Official bird.
That's fair.
Not a Mario 2 reference. Okay.
Sam, what is the daily win?
All right, so we are giving away a video game every single day on IGN.com for U.S. residents only. Sorry.
Get
I know why.
world.
There's a
Sorry, CJ.
We
And
tried
Canada.
really hard to give away games to Canada, and all the comments are about that.
Just didn't like those skill-based testing questions, huh?
Do you know about that?
Oh, do I know about that? Absolutely.
If you win, I didn't know about this, and a lot of Canadians apparently don't because they keep clamoring for free games.
No.
If you win a free thing in Canada, you have to pass a skill-based, a test of skill, a test of might.
Absolutely.
Not might.
Mental might.
Mental might,
Yeah.
This is for real. You have to answer a question in 5 minutes or less.
Yes.
That includes, if it's math, 4 steps. So an example would be 100 plus 65 divided by 2 plus 3.
That's impossible.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, Daemon did ask me this, so I knew a little bit about it in advance.
If you get it wrong,
no prize.
no prize.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So for the most part, it's typically.
But they're not always math problems?
No, they're usually always math problems.
Well, then you just keep calculator handy.
Yeah,
You're
well,
good to
No,
go.
you can't use
They're
a calculator.
usually just work around this dumb law problem.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. You
Yeah.
can't use it?
I mean, isn't that the idea?
can't-
Yeah, the idea is that you just do it right there
It's
and
'cause
then.
it's like a gambling
send
thing
it
because
away.
they want
Yeah.
games of skill always, not games of chance. Like,
Yeah.
that's the idea. That's why
Couple
pinball
of
was
mounties
destroyed in the
watching you
70s.
make-
So this is another thing. Now people will know. It's like when I come on here and everybody's oh, milk and bags. It's like no, I actually said to Damon, I was like, wait, you don't need to answer this. Like to me, this is a requirement.
Yeah, so we have
When
a
he
thing
said
called
it
the
wasn't same.
sweepstakes, but you're talking about a contest, and there's just different legalities for both.
Yeah.
Also-
and believe me, I've been in the stuff about that this week because
Yeah.
I set up the IGN Daily Win, and you should go on IGN right now, and you can win a copy of, I believe by the time you hear this episode, Resident Evil 2 for free, just by going there and putting your email address in.
It's a good game.
But the 1998 version.
Off of,
Adds the counter.
on Nintendo 64
Unless you're
from
in
my
Canada.
desk. I'm running out of games.
No Canadians allowed.
We'll give away a PS3 or PS4 copy and then an Xbox copy the next day. Usually is the idea.
Nice.
So
Is that how it's always going to? Because I know it was like Kingdom Hearts, PS4,
yeah, or,
Xbox.
or PC. If we
cool.
get, it depends on what we have or what we want to give away.
Yeah.
And
Also, Mark,
what you want to
Yeah.
did you know that in Canada, milk comes in bags?
I learned that not 1 minute ago when CJ said
Somebody
it.
There you
tweeted
go.
at us a picture of said bag.
Like the instructions for, apparently you put the bag inside a jug and you snip the corner and pour
Now,
it from
does
there.
Exactly.
does the Milk Council distribute jugs to everybody?
That's a good question. I feel like once you have
you
the
grow up
jug
with a jug?
once, yeah, absolutely. I
Was
don't
it
know where it comes from. You can
milk
probably,
jug.
It's just there, but it's just you circulate it. You never need more than one.
But you always use that milk jug.
Absolutely.
And
What do you-
is it
do you
like a
just throw
thinner
the bag
version of
away?
a jug so the bag doesn't spread out in it?
No, it's just like a little like kind of oval like jug with a handle. Then yeah, you snip the
But like
edges
if you
off.
saw that, you'd be like, "Don't put Kool-Aid in there. That's the
It's
milk
like a
jug."
totally
No,
different world.
Yeah, it is.
Like, is it
but I love how you
multi-use?
didn't know.
Does
No,
everybody
it's
have the
super
same
weird.
jug?
It's the milk jug. There's no
It's
multi-use.
it's funny. I have a really good friend I play a lot of video games with, and he lives in Canada. And he was we wanted to like buy him a game or whatever, and we go on their GameStop website, and I thought I was like back in the 90s.
.ca?
Like it was like eBay. It was or not eBay. It was what's the game
Oh, EB
spot?
Games.
EB Games, and
Yeah.
it's like the Zone and all this stuff. And I was like, this is so like weird. He's like, that's just
Yep.
that's our GameStop. And I'm
That
like,
is.
this is like
So-
We had
very
EB
strange.
here.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. We had it a long time ago.
But
Yeah.
it's still their time
and
capsule.
so like growing up, there was EB Games, and then there hasn't been EB Games in a
So,
long
CJ,
time.
what's an embarrassing thing that Americans do that you can't believe we do?
I mean, there's so
And
many.
you can't say cartons with milk in them, okay?
No.
We're
You
proud
put
of
your
that.
milk in a container, you
no,
weirdos.
I think that. I mean, I said there's just words, but when I say them, it doesn't translate because I know most of the people are American.
What's one thing that happens often?
I honestly thought that somebody was trolling me when they said the word decal. Now I've said the word decal.
Yeah, but you're just revealing another weird Canadian thing.
Exactly.
That is
That's
so
my
weird.
point.
This is your
I'm
opportunity
giving
to
you a
shame
chance.
us
Yeah,
for
shame
something.
us.
Yeah. Oh, I put a lot of decals
Welcome
on
to
my
Game Scoop,
car.
everybody.
Okay. Now here's one. I'll say so for the most part, Saskatchewan and Manitoba, like Winnipeg area, they're all those provinces in the center. Nobody knows them. So let's go. Oh yeah, name me a place you've been to in Canada, and everybody always says Vancouver or Toronto. Mm-hmm. You know where that is? Yeah, it's somewhere up north there, and I say where, and they have no idea.
Well, Vancouver's on
And
the West Coast. I know that.
Vancouver's on the west coast, but typically they'll say
Toronto's Detroit, basically.
yeah, around there. But then I'll say, do you know where Montana is? They're like, oh yeah, rough idea. And they're like, over where Toronto. So they don't. Nobody mostly knows the states up there, and
It's
they
just-
also
it's just
don't know
left-
Canada.
It's just
Again,
left and right.
this is reflecting poorly on Canadians, not Americans.
no, it's not because Americans
But you're
don't know
talking
their
about
own states or the most of the
Oh,
provinces.
you're saying Americans don't know their
Yeah,
own
they
stuff.
don't.
I wanted to know
Oh, I
some sort
see
of
what you're
like
saying.
habit though. Like milk in a bag is like that's strange.
I mean,
like you're talking about geography.
I feel
here.
like-
I just want to know like
Geography's
what's-
impossible.
let me just say what
And
we
math.
have then that you
Math.
guys don't have. We have health care.
Oh,
There we go.
All right.
New
But
topic.
when you go to the doctor,
You
the
win
math
you
problem
win
can be
again.
really hard.
Yeah.
you're like I really
At least
need
it's
this
free.
surgery.
At least it's free.
At least it's free. But you know what? If you fail
What's
the
the
math
prime
test,
number of whatever? You're like I don't know. They're like
then
no
the doctor
heart surgery
makes it
for you.
worse.
We've lingered on this for too long. I just
Poor
have one
David,
more
yeah.
question
All right.
about the milk bag.
For real.
Bag
He's
scoop.
taking over.
The milk bag is in the milk jug.
Yes.
The corner is snipped.
Yes.
You pour yourself a nice glass of
Cool
milk.
glass of
Yeah.
milk.
And you put it in the fridge.
Absolutely.
And so it's just like the corner is snipped and it's just open and exposed to the environment of your fridge. Because
Oh,
here we
that's true.
close
You gotta
like the
close
milk
it.
carton here.
You know, I mean, when you say it like that, it does sound really bad.
Does a little film come off the top when you pour
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Well-
like you wouldn't put a cup of liquid just in a fridge.
Do you tie off the corner and you clip it?
No.
Does it absorb the
it's-
odors of your refrigerator and
it's-
taste
it's,
different?
It's a nice little tiny clips that it pours nice and smooth. It's
It's enough.
definitely
Though. It's enough
yeah,
where that
it's-
you should need something.
Do you have a special tool for clipping the corner or do you just use
just
scissors?
use scissors.
Where's the milk bag clipper?
There you go.
She's like, here's scissors. He's like, I never.
We've
Is-
been without.
Is the first
We've been
pour
without.
like really sloppy?
Well, it's like anything that's really full. You kind of have to like balance it. I'm not saying this is a great idea. This milk
What did
bag
you
thing,
said
guys.
you've been without? What did you do when you did like teeth?
So here's the thing.
Well, like
Every-
most things,
everybody
it fails when you try it.
no, because there's enough volume to hold it in. You have to like kind of like force it in initially when
Damon,
it's
you have
closed.
to, you have
and
to
then
get
you,
us out
then
of
you
here.
cut
Yeah.
it and
Here we go.
spouts.
You have to get us.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
We've heard before that there's new Switch models on the way this year. And the Wall Street Journal this week has another report that we are indeed getting 2 new Switch models this year. A more advanced version and then sort of a Switch Lite version that's supposed to replace the 3DS. Again, this comes from Wall Street Journal. The enhanced variant will be bolstered with features targeted at avid video gamers. I think that's us.
Could be.
Maybe.
I consider myself an avid video gamer.
I would
what is
say
that gonna
avid
be?
minus.
Yeah, like that is the processor on your little how many size inch screen is just going to be. Oh, you're
Yeah.
going to notice all those graphics.
The cheaper option is for more casual gamers, intended as a successor to the 3DS.
Or the 2DS, right?
or even the 2DS. Yeah.
Or the
and,
2DS
and like
Lite.
loosely described as
It-
like what would be kind of like a Vita because it doesn't have detachable Switch.
That sounds like it wouldn't have
So it-
detachable Joy-Cons.
Yeah, but I wonder if it will still switch. Like we'll still have a dock.
Yeah, I would think that would be the
TV.
one thing that it has to like sort out. And maybe it's not a dock, maybe it's like a plug or something.
Yeah.
I think the TV part is really important. But like a more powerful Switch is also sounds really great to me.
Yeah. They also talk about.
What if they up-res Zelda?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, come on.
It already looks great.
I'll play it a third time.
Yeah.
Because I plan to play it a second
What
time.
if they raise the
crazy
frame
guy.
rate? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Games like Doom and Wolfenstein run at 30 on Switch.
Or they were like noticeably dipping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
And
so it's like maybe we'll get up to frame rate.
yeah, and that makes sense. I think just when you mention this, the context of plugging the device into the TV, if you had like a less portable version of the Switch, but it actually had like more horsepower to use when you're plugging it in the TV. Yeah.
The less powerful version could drop functions like the controller vibration, which actually would be fine with me. I don't like having a vibration on when I'm using it in
Well,
handheld mode.
it's kind of like
that also makes me think is less not going to be detachable.
Yeah.
Because it's like 3DS doesn't have vibration.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
one piece.
But think of some games that are specifically Switch-related games that actually like that's a function of the
Well,
game.
that's what I was going to say.
that
Like, it
many,
only was at the
though.
start. It's one of those Nintendo functions where they worked really hard on it.
Yeah.
And they came up with one good idea, which turned out
1-2
to be,
switch?
yeah, which was like
Yeah.
not a great idea, and
Yeah.
then they never returned to it.
Yep.
But that's
Yeah,
why like
I
a
don't-
WarioWare would be so good to
Balls
use.
in a box.
right. It's like you're
That
losing.
was so cool though.
It was
That
cool.
a great
Yeah,
idea.
the HD
Yeah.
rumble.
Yep.
But it's like, I don't know how much of a loss it is.
These consoles allegedly have new designs, so they look different than the current Switch model.
I mean, that's always good and bad. I feel like it's good for Nintendo, bad for consumers, because it's the same thing with iPhones. Every time they change a model, there's a different case, there's a different accessory, there's different,
You lose the headphone jack.
You lose the headphone jack. There you go.
Every time. Every time.
Or yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, it would be obviously smaller. Then it'd be okay. But if
It's
the
got to
size
use
is
the same
bigger-
Joy-Cons though, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but size,
But what
like
you're-
size-wise,
what you're
could
saying
be a
is-
little different,
Yeah,
right?
If they change it, it instantly is going to make every current Switch look old and
Absolutely.
outdated.
Yeah.
How are we already 12 minutes into the show? we
I'm
spent
just
10
so-
minutes talking about milk
lot
and
of
bags.
milk.
So glad we're talking about video games
a
now.
lot of milk.
Apologies for that. What do you guys think about this?
I'm excited only because I don't personally own a Switch because we
Because you only play Mario 64.
that's true. It's not on Switch yet, so why would I? We bought my wife
Yeah.
a Switch, and it seems like it's getting those like rub marks on the side of it.
Yep.
From the dock.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm just like, the Joy-Cons were breaking at the start. They feel kind of weird. The right one wasn't working correctly. The dock to me is just utter garbage. And so I've been waiting. It is. It's
Do you know
bad.
you
I don't
can
have a
line it
problem
with
with
its
the
belt?
Yeah, you can do all these things to make it work properly. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that sucks. To me,
That's
it's
what I
like-
said about the milk.
To me,
America.
to me, nothing has drawn me to like needing a Switch, and so I've been waiting for a redesign, and it sounds like it's gonna happen this year.
But when you say nothing's drawing you to need a Switch, like you haven't played any Switch games at all, though.
Oh no,
Even some of
I
those-
have. Like I work at IGN.
Well,
where
I know.
have to cover
but-
video games.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like when you say that, though, you got to preface that.
No, I've played Zelda. I've played
Okay.
Odyssey. I just carry around the work Switch when I want to play a
Gotcha.
game. But like, I don't have my own personal Switch, and I'd like one, but I'm gonna wait for this now
Interesting.
because I've been waiting for a redesign.
Yeah. I don't really have any issues or complaints with my current Switch, so it would have to be pretty significantly different for me to,
For me, it's like,
buy a whole new
are we
console.
talking about like we're not getting Red Dead on Switch right now
Yeah.
because clearly you just can't do it. Like, can we get to a point where we have a Switch that can kind of do games like that? Maybe games from this generation, but just a year back or 2 years back.
I mean, it's already kind of doing that.
Be nice.
Yeah.
Getting Wolfenstein and Doom,
Yeah,
Right.
but it's just it's not everything, and I
Yeah.
don't know why. But if it's because of power, then yeah, like let's juice that a bit.
So here's the thing: do you think portability will be a focus on this newer one still? Only,
hope so.
Only because I'm thinking like one of the things that the Switch doesn't do well, and I mean, I think everybody's jokes like, oh, which games could or could not come to it. We always say like, Destiny or always persistent online games, which typically have usually been a problem because it's Wi-Fi only. So.
Warframe's on Switch. Just throwing
Warframe
that
is
out
on
there.
Switch, yeah, and it's done a really good job. I've heard that, and I've not played Warframe, but for the people that enjoy it, they said that the performance is actually not too bad. But I mean,
right.
they're optimizing it like kind of on the regular. But that could be something where, if it had the ability to have some kind of like breakout port or some kind of external thing for you to plug in network, yeah, never know. Like maybe they hit certain type of different games that they've not been able to do in the past.
Well, we are just a little over 2 months away from E3. If you can believe that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is unbelievable. I'm actually working on a E3 planning doc all day. That's what I've been doing. So that's not fun.
Quick.
It's not fun working the planning doc, but I'm really excited about E3. I just want to make that clear. I'm not one of these like haters or doubters about working at E3. I think it's really, really great.
Yeah,
but working in a document is kind of boring. There's a DS Lite thing for me where it's like I didn't think I needed that system until I saw it, and I was like, this is the most beautiful piece of gaming hardware I've ever seen. I don't know how the Switch could get to that point, but there's a good chance I'm just gonna be like, that is just too cool looking. I must.
Yeah.
have
True.
Well, and I think that's what CJ's saying is like this new thing is going to come out, and it's like your old Switch is going to be like, it's time for
And there's some
let's see what I
weight
can
issues
get
with
for
it,
this.
right? Like it's actually kind of like it hurts my wrists when I play on the Blade for a long time or like something like that. I need to like work around that, and there's things they can fix.
That's weird. I always felt like, for the most part, I thought the Switch's like equilibrium center balance was pretty good, like in comparison to. I mean, I don't like iPad gaming, and for the times where you have to do that on the touchscreen, which Switch isn't really a touch gaming device per se, right? But
Has a touchscreen, but
has a touchscreen, but not really designed for that. Like I didn't like bigger iPads and stuff like that because I felt like that way too. But Switch was kind of like that happy medium, I thought, for the most part.
And if they don't change the Joy-Cons, then this won't happen. But I'd like a D-pad.
Absolutely. I don't know how many people either modded them or I've seen something like that. And even the analog stick, it's pretty good, but I could use a little bit more refinement.
Yeah, it's very nubby.
Yep. Little nubby.
I really like the Pro Controller though.
Pro Controller is awesome. Yep.
I like the Pro Controller. All right, we shall find out just a little bit more than 2 months at E3. Do you know it?
I think I do. It's from I used to play it on 101, but I can't remember the.
What did you just say?
Sorry, that might have been another Canadian thing.
Seriously, what does that mean? A computer?
Yeah, I know it's an NES
Sinclair?
game. Do you know what it is?
Is it a Sinclair 101? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, well, we call them 101 cartridges in Canada. Yeah, and I think
what's the game?
So what, a
system?
bootleg cartridge?
more or less. Yeah,
He's talking about a cartridge with 101 games on it.
yeah.
I was wrong. I'm thinking of Caltron 6-in-1 is what I know. But
okay.
yeah, you played those.
Yeah, we had 101.
Is it Adventure Island?
No, it was Bomberman.
Bomberman. Yeah. I
Title screen.
Yeah, I was thinking about that or Mappy. Ever played Mappy? Sound a little.
I talked about Mappy 2 hours ago?
Did you really?
You were talking about
Yesterday.
Mappy?
Remember I was saying, and I had missed some of the Apple conference because I was doing some stuff.
Oh,
and
right.
I came out and I was like, what arcade games did they announce? And Daemon said none. And I asked him if they announced Mappy.
Random.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I talk about Mappy all the time, so it's not
course.
super random.
Naturally.
All the time.
I'm aware of Mappy. I don't know that I've ever played it. It's
Okay.
it's like City Connection
Guys.
for me.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, that game was really fun.
dun,
That game was really funny.
dun, dun, dun.
You know the music to Mappy?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that's it. And you jump in the trampoline.
So good.
We'll go out after this show and we're going to play Mappy because we have it in a game in the lobby here.
Okay.
And
Let's do it.
It's so good because it introduces the characters, and one of them is named, I can't remember the name, but his description is Boss the Big Bit, and then Mappy is Mouse Police.
His little outfit. That makes sense.
They have like credits, but they're like
That's pretty good.
not
That's
well
great.
localized, and it's very, very good. Mouse Police.
Well, speaking of Apple Arcade, that was revealed yesterday.
Yeah.
Good segue.
One of 3 subscription platforms that Apple revealed yesterday. So this is going to be their mobile game subscription platform for premium games, not free to play stuff with microtransactions. It should be it should be a curated catalog of quality games that you're paying a monthly fee to access.
That is the key word, curated. And what does that mean, and how
Seal
long
quality.
can they do that? Yeah.
means Mark Bozon is picking his favorite games.
Yeah, there's a bunch of XIGN people who reviewed games that at work in that part.
Charles
Charles
Onyett.
Onyett. Yeah. Yeah.
Down there.
So I think that's one thing that you have to think about when you get excited about this is like, what games are you scrambling to your phone to play these days in that category? And I do like iPhone games. There are some I really liked 80 Days. I like games over the years, but there's just not a lot. And I don't know why that is. It's just I know why it is. It's because they're not targeting us and they're trying to get
Yeah.
dollars from free to play.
Yep.
But like, man, there's like not a huge amount of those experiences coming out every single week or month.
Florence
Like there are
blew
for other
up
stuff.
last year.
Love
Yeah,
Florence.
stuff for them.
I think that's what was cool about PUBG Mobile and Fortnite is actually, especially Fortnite, when you have that ecosystem where they can actually play against other people on other devices, and I mean that's super rare. But I don't know if like that's actually feasible or possible to do in this kind
What
of
I'm confused
story.
by is that I know people in in the industry or like people that we would interact with that like games like Clash of Clans, and like if that is a thing, does this preclude those games from being on it? And does it
Right.
even matter? I mean, I guess those work perfectly well. I just can't figure out what the service is for.
But it sounds like an exclusive platform though, which is kind of typically Apple's thing,
If
right?
there's developers for it, you mean?
Well, yeah, and I mean they've done this already a little bit with Apple TV, where they have custom games designed to play with the Apple remote. Have you ever actually played them?
No, but I hate the Apple remote.
So the Apple remote's not bad once you get the hang of it, but yeah, it's definitely not like a
Controller?
it's not like a conventional controller, but it does well enough to be able to
I
play
don't
some
get it
of those
because you have to
games.
put it in the jug and then you have to
You got to snip the corner.
snip the corner. It's just weird.
Back
give
in
me a controller.
2006, Sam. No, where I was going with that before. I mean, we'll just throw in milk references too every now and then. The Wii was in the.
Oh, bringing it back around.
It was the Wii did the same thing though in like 2006. If you think about like the the Wii motion controls, it's kind of like that. You're either into that or you're not. And I mean, the kids at least that I know of who want to play those type of games, or if they. I mean, the model of like maybe going into hotels or going into other, things. I don't know if that's going to be a play or not. Like you wonder somehow, because they really are wanting it to get into a different space. That's what it felt like with all this announcement stuff with Apple.
How boring is all that? Like, why
that's a good
don't we
question.
answer? There's just this test that you can do for like upcoming game consoles. Like, am I going to play a game on it that's better than Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
No. So
No,
what
but
is
right
the point?
now,
What is the point?
You can't play Metal Gear Solid 5 when you're on, when you're during your commute or on a plane right now.
Right, but you
It'd be
can
very
play,
dangerous
you
to play
can
that at
play
Drive.
Zelda Breath of the Wild, and like that's
Yeah,
my
you can.
thing with me is like when I see
So I was
this.
going to use that as my test example,
Oh,
but I'm not allowed. Okay.
No, you did good. Keep
Well,
rolling.
all I'm saying is just like when
Sam
I
can chime
when
in
I
now.
looked at all of those games, like nothing grabbed me.
Yeah.
To the point where I'd want to pay for this.
Yeah.
Because to Sam's point, like is you can take your Switch on the go. Why am I going to play these games on my phone? I don't know. None of them looked interesting enough where I was like, I need this.
There are certain types of games that I like playing on my iPad. I really like tower defense games.
Yes.
About once a year, a new Kingdom Rush game comes along. That's a tower defense series. That
Did
are
you play the
really high
Bugs vs.
quality.
Robots game on your?
Which I don't know which
What's the
one.
one that Dan you love a lot? The follow to
Into the Breach?
Yeah, Into the Breach.
Love that game, but I play it on Switch.
Okay, yeah.
That one there. So it's like if a new Kingdom Rush game was released this fall and it's part of this program, I guess I might as well subscribe and like check out some of the other games that are available. But it's like, it's never gonna be my primary game platform, so it'll highly depend on what's the game list like and how much does it cost.
I mean, so I agree with you guys. I mean, for the most part, especially when I watch my kids play iPad games and iPhone games, I don't understand how they can enjoy it, but they don't have that context of knowing what a controller is like, honestly, at that age. So I do wonder how much of this is a play for future like parents. And
So you're just saying we're too old to appreciate
we absolutely are. No, I mean, in
I'm
some
actually
cases,
okay
everybody
with
has
that.
an iPhone, so it's like the accessibility of that as the platform is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more accessible than buying a new platform.
Yeah.
They already have an iPhone and those games are free.
Yeah.
So it's like this,
again, like-
this is gonna be a hard
a
sell.
kid can't buy a subscription service.
That's what I'm saying.
Even okay. So
That-
like
that's
even
why
what
that's a hindrance to this.
yeah, even whatever it costs, even if it's like
Yeah.
I mean, Apple Music is like $10.
But
This
now,
is
but there was
probably-
like a sharing family setup though, where I think, and don't quote me
Yeah.
on this, but yeah, you have one
it was like
plan and then four other devices.
That's how
or,
Apple Music is as well.
Yeah.
It's like you pay and then like everybody else gets like a discount. I think this one was like free though.
yeah, I don't want to talk specifically about it, but I can see that being of benefit because that's what we do. I mean, I have my main account. They all kind of have portable devices with iPads that are usually logged into me, and they have to like. You make sure that there's not, buying games because I've had that almost happen a few times. It's
Yeah.
like, oops, click. The sponsor ad comes up. And you're like,
That
oh, God.
that whole conference to me though was just like it was like magazines.
It was like 2 hours. long.
$10 a month.
Yeah.
And then it was games. They didn't say price, but
Yeah.
probably 10, 15 a month. And then it was Apple Plus, the TV Plus or
Yeah.
whatever, and that was whatever a month. And I'm just like, I already pay for like Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
and
So you could
Apple.
apply that test to the other thing, like you could say like is this going to be better than Netflix? Is there going to be better shows on this?
Right.
Like, I don't see the point of this. I need to start thinking about these things not as like cool new tech innovations. Like Stadia last week, I kind of regret the discussion we have a little bit because we didn't talk about games at all because they didn't talk about games at all.
Right.
And like, who cares? Who cares if that system can play games if it doesn't have any? And like, I want to know if not only it has good games, but it has good games that are unique and new and amazing.
Right.
And like, man, like I know I can count on Sony for that. That's
and
their
that's-
job.
And Nintendo.
Yeah, I was
and
talking
Nintendo, and
to
and Microsoft hopefully again someday.
I was
But I don't
talking to-
think of those companies in the same way.
Yeah, I was talking to Dornbush about that yesterday, where we, after watching State of Play, this is to set you up for the next topic.
Oh, good job.
About how like Stadia seems cool and you might want to test it out. Maybe this Apple thing's cool, but it's like at the end of the day, the stuff that you're really really excited for is still PlayStation 5, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima. Like that is like all this other stuff is just like. I don't want to say filler, but it's just stuff that I was like, okay, Stadia is really fun, or maybe these Apple games are kind of cool, but like nothing's going to replace when I walk into Target and buy my PlayStation 5. Like that is just going to be nuts.
Not yet.
Going to Target for it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Still.
Well, I mean, why not?
A Target loyalist.
Yeah.
He's got a personal connection to Target.
I do have a weird personal connection to Target, but also
But
Amazon.
it's come up
He was
good
born
for you,
there.
though.
Yeah.
I was born in a Target.
You know how
Aisle
Target
5.
works, though, so now you can get
Clean
they
up
won't
on
sell
aisle
you one
5.
game, they might sell you two.
Well, the thing is like for one, you got the red card. That's 5% off.
There it is.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You get 5% off of a $400 console. That's a good chunk off of games.
That's the kind of math problem you'd have to solve
Yeah.
if you won a prize in
if I was
Canada.
Canadian, I know the answer.
There's
Also,
no Targets in Canada.
Amazon,
What do you have instead?
Sorry, we have
They
Walmart.
have Target.
No, we had Targets come in and they went bankrupt.
Oh, that's
What?
true.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
That's
I worked at
crazy.
Target when they put them in
Yeah.
Canada.
About
It
3
just
years
didn't
ago.
work.
That's so crazy to
Which
me.
is weird because the reason they did that is because they had data to show that people were coming from Canada
Yes.
to go to Targets.
But because they replaced them with stores that were already there before that didn't do well.
How do you guys know so much about
Zellers,
So-
Kmart, and Sears? That was the real.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you buy games from Amazon and stuff like that, or even consoles. Sometimes they don't get there
That's
that
true.
day.
That's true. That's
and so you got a game. I was just on Twitter and someone was like, "Oh, my Sekiro copy looks like it got delayed. I won't get it till Monday now." That's a whole weekend. You could have just walked to Target and bought it on the shelf. What's the problem?
Well, and also, I mean, that's the digital distribution issue too. So it takes forever to download and install games. It's like
Well, I'm talking
it
about
is-
Amazon. I'm talking about buying physically
No, I
from
know.
Amazon.
I know. I'm just saying
Okay.
it's also brick and mortar does have some advantages still.
Unless you live in Arkansas and then internet connection is super fast.
Yeah.
All right, well, Apple Arcade will launch this fall. We'll see what that looks like then.
That was a cool drum sound.
That was Super Darius on
Oh.
TurboGrafx 16.
Wow, wouldn't have guessed that.
I played Darius Twin, but not Super Darius.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Darius games.
No, there is.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of G Darius on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Have you ever played UN Squadron?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a cool
What-
game!
so
it's like a little
launch-
bit of depth to that kind
Launch
of
game for Super Nintendo?
Yeah, I think it was.
probably.
Yeah.
From Capcom.
Super Scope.
This week, we bore witness to the first State of Play, the PlayStation Direct.
Yep,
basically.
PlayStation
the
Direct.
Sony Direct. I
take back everything I said about them being fun and knowing what to do.
color me underwhelmed.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Why not just release a trailer for one of those games and then do the other one the next day?
I will tell you why. I will tell you
Here we go.
right now. Okay.
Lay it on.
State
Preach.
of Play.
Take us to
Everybody
church.
watched it, right? Everybody in this office watched it.
Yeah.
If they would have released all of those separately as trailers, how many of those would you have watched?
Well, none of them.
Possibly none of them.
Yeah.
So this is their way to give games that wouldn't otherwise have had a platform, a platform.
But it only works once.
I doubt that.
I'm never watching it again.
No, Sam, you'll
Okay.
watch it.
I wouldn't watch it if I didn't work here.
It didn't work
How about
yet.
that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fun here because, well, we're at work.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
And everyone gathers around and watches it together. But
We
if I
have
were
four-
just
we have
if I were
four
working at
TVs,
some other
all-
job, I
none
would
of them are
never
synced.
watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it seemed Stated Play. I keep wanting to say Stated Decay. It seemed like that event, yesterday's event, was more of an announcement of State of Play, of what they're going to look like. Like, hey, we don't have a lot,
Yeah.
so
That's
this
clear
is yeah.
That is
So-
the state of play.
right. And so it's like
Not
it's
a
like
lot.
they started it with saying like throughout the year we'll be releasing these things, and it's like to me it was more of a this is what they're going to be, more opposed to
Yeah.
you know the actual content themselves. And I do, at the end of the day, kind of think that they don't have a lot.
Yeah.
They moved Concrete Genie to fall, which makes me think that that's possibly their big game of the fall. Like, tell me what other PlayStation games coming out in fall.
I don't think that was the
were,
intention to imply that.
I mean, maybe not, but I'm just saying, like, as far as the state of play for PlayStation, they don't have a lot to show right now.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2.
You're not going to just keep showing Last of Us. That's what I'm saying. Is they have Last of Us, they have Ghosts, and they have what's the other one? Death Stranding.
Yeah.
They're not going to just keep showing those.
Yeah.
So part of the problem is it wasn't hosted. There's no like host
Yeah.
to like guide you through the video.
Yeah, you're
like
a little bit
Nintendo always
biased.
does. Well, yeah, you're right. It's a robot. It's a robot voice taking my job.
There it is.
No, they just had a woman doing VO.
Yeah.
It's because they lost Ryan Clements.
Yeah.
They didn't have a host anymore.
Rip.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they did have some kind of. It took Nintendo a while to get here, but some kind of personality and start to develop that for Sony. I mean, I think that would make it make me more likable to watch.
Kevin
like me to watch
Butler.
it.
Where is he?
But so
Yeah.
much of it was PSVR too, and like that's
true.
irrelevant to me. I don't play VR.
It is also irrelevant to me.
And me as well.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better for people
So they-
that are excited about PSVR.
Yeah, I don't really care about the whatever that Crash racing game is.
Yeah.
It's also not for me.
No.
It was just so weird that they like all these VR indie games, and then it's like also Days Gone.
So there was also
coming out, guys.
But it was just like a kind of a look at the story, which did not seem very interesting to me at all either. I'm still like willing to give that game a chance, but that trailer didn't do anything for me.
And then Mortal Kombat.
Which Mortal Kombat? We already know Mortal Kombat's coming. Like
Such a weird, and the characters they announced were characters that it's like, we're going to be in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Just a quick little peek.
And they announced some indie games, but nothing that really stood out to me. It's not like a Nintendo Direct. They show like stuff that like Wargroove, Blaster Master, Zero 2, stuff that like instantly when I see it, I'm like, oh, tell me more. This looks awesome. That's on my radar.
What did you think of Iron Man?
It's an Iron Man VR game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like nostalgia.
I was like,
plays
this is
such
their
a big
opener.
part into
Yeah.
that, though, right? Too, right? For the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, when they opened with that Iron Man game, I was like, it's probably not going to be good.
Anyway, if that's hopefully they can improve a little bit more for the next
Or
Sony
like,
state of play.
going into this, people were like, and people in the office, I mean, like people that we know and love, we're saying this is their substitute for E3.
Yeah.
This is what they're going to do instead of E3.
no.
Yikes! Yeah.
Please don't let that be the case.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Just make up some games and show them.
so like
In June, how hard is that?
5 years
Nintendo does
away.
all their directs,
Nintendo makes
and
up
then-
games like Metroid Prime 4.
But like Nintendo does all their
It's
smaller
true.
directs, and then they do a bigger E3 thing. Do you think that we could see that from Sony? Like a bigger
and I hope so.
E3 state of play?
I would be thrilled if they released a bigger state of play on that Monday of E3 week. Sure,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
So, I mean, here's the question. Is there a Sony announcement for a console coming up? And if it is that E3 or is that like next year?
No, I think it's
Won't be E3.
I think it's February of next year.
Yeah.
February or March.
Still a ways away.
That would be following the playbook of the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
And do you think they'll hint at it though? Like, or actually talk anything at all?
Remember, they're not at E3.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, or have. Yeah, I guess that's what's weird. When you say that out loud, it still hasn't sunk in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the more they hint at PS5, the less PS4 will sell. So I don't.
Well, yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
Think so.
Yeah.
I think they still want people to think of Ghosts, Last of Us, and Death Stranding as PS4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing some scheduling for E3 today, just kind of like, when is our staff going to get there, and like, what do the conferences look like? And it was like Tina and Miranda and myself were looking at it, and I believe it was Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, and what was the
Bethesda.
and Bethesda are the only people that have said that are going to have
actual-
conferences
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, because EA
And
is
Square
doing
Enix
their
could.
weird.
But everybody else says they're not.
Yeah, EA is doing their big like. They're doing like a
EA
treehouse.
Play.
3 days of it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like go there and do stuff in person for the public. And then they're also going to show these kind of long form videos.
Like Treehouse,
Very
in the style of
That's how it
Nintendo's
sticks
Treehouse
out to
thing.
me. Is like Nintendo does their direct, and then they do Treehouse, where they're just having people play their games. That's what it seems like the EA thing's going to be.
we should stop a moment and say how silly it is too that Sony constantly gets in this situation which they just do something that Nintendo did, and it's so silly, and I don't know why it keeps happening. Like they do cool, they do a bunch of cool original things, and they should get credit for that. But when they do something like this, it's just silly. Like Nintendo Direct is not great. That's not a great way to go about things. But they, for some reason, they think they have to do it too.
I don't know. I like the Nintendo Directs.
I
But
think
did you like them
Directs-
always?
I mean,
Because for the most part,
I think they started out kind of like this.
they're kind of like showstoppers, and maybe that's just here. because we work here.
I mean,
like when they announce a direct, like, you know, that is like if they say there's a direct on Thursday, like that's going to be the talk.
It does
tomorrow.
help highlight indies. I totally get that
Yeah.
point that you made, Mark. Like, I think that's a really smart idea.
But I think that's an expectation thing too, because I think that makes sense for Nintendo. If anybody else did that, I do not think that would. Well, again, not super exciting.
I'd say let's give them another chance.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Let's give them one more chance, Damon.
All right. We will give Sony one more chance.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Let it be known.
One of these days I'll know any of these songs.
That's Bomberman?
No, what is that?
Blaster Master.
Blaster Master. But that's on NES sound. I mean, that doesn't sound like what part of Blaster Master is
I think
that?
that's like the game over screen.
I was gonna say I don't remember that sound.
Because you never died.
I never
You're that
died. Dun, 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 dun.
Lord of the Rings Golem is a video game we'll get to play in 2021. Announced this week. Coming from Daedalic Entertainment, they make a lot of point-and-click games. Although they said this will be a little bit different, a little bit more action-focused than their traditional point-and-click games. A narrative-focused adventure game, they call it, that will explore the events that occur between Gollum's finding the One Ring and the start of the Lord of the Rings story. But they don't have the movie license, so this won't be Peter Jackson's Gollum and world that he...
Do you know what Golem did in that time?
Just sat in a cave
He sat
in the dark
in a cave.
for like
out.
In the dark.
500 years and went crazy.
Yeah.
Should be a great game.
Yeah.
But you know what? I know you don't like fishing games, but I do. So
Yeah.
maybe it's my thing.
But you're going to be fishing with your hands and eating them raw
And that's it.
wriggling.
And that's
Mark, do
it.
you have any idea what we're talking about?
You know, as IGN's chief Lord of the Rings expert. No, I have no idea. I've never Lord of the Rings.
Are you
is
saying
not
that
my
because
deal.
you've never seen? No, your wife.
So
made you
I've
watch Lord
seen
of the
them.
Rings.
I've seen them. It was the
All three.
trade-off. It
You've
was the
seen all
trade-off.
three.
Well, yeah. So I saw those three, and I feel like I've seen The Hobbit.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
And so when we went and watched,
It's not so much of a feeling as something that would have happened or did.
I can't remember. So then we went and watched The Hobbit, and I remember saying, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore."
Were you watching it in like that super speed 48 3D style thing?
Yes.
Or no?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have seen it for sure. Yeah, because I remember.
Don't
it,
tell us you don't
I
remember
it
Orlando
looked-
Bloom.
I remember it looked cool.
Yeah.
Like there's that whole.
No, we all thought it looked terrible.
I think it looked cool.
What,
Cool.
The
Oh,
Hobbit?
what a
Yeah.
flip flop! This
The
is
Hobbit
good.
looked like it was shot on a camcorder.
Yeah. And that's because the aesthetics of film were
You know,
like
I just
doubled.
I just watched a
didn't feel
movie
right.
that was shot entirely on an iPhone. I forget what the movie was. It was about
The Force Awakens.
iPhone
no, it was
XR.
the lady that goes to the insane asylum and then she ends up getting locked up there. It just came as like
Spoilers. jeez.
unsane or it's in the trailer. It's unsane or
The
something.
movie titles
Unsane
in the
was
Yeah,
trailer.
the
uh,
movie's called Unsane.
Unsane was a hardcore band in the 90s. They had a song called Scrape, and the music video for it was just dudes wrecking on skateboards.
Wait,
good.
wrecking,
Pretty good
not even
actually.
doing any tricks.
No, just falling off the skateboards and getting Scrape, Mark.
Just wipe it out.
Oh,
Eh?
okay.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings Golem.
So here's the thing:
Yikes.
Lord of the Rings. I love it. I love the universe. I think Tolkien did a great job with it. I think Peter Jackson did a great job with it, and nobody else has, including Peter Jackson since then.
That's true. That's really true.
Yeah, and I'm really worried about anybody handling anything in that universe that's not Tolkien, and I'm like a protectionist for it. Also, I don't think Gollum's a great character. I love him the way Tolkien did it, and even when Peter Jackson did it, it's like it's okay. But like, I don't
Andy
know.
Serkis, I
It's a
thought
pretty
it was
iconic
amazing. Yeah.
performance from Andy
It's a-
Serkis.
I don't know.
Really?
I think it's really good for what they did at the time, and I think
Wow.
it's a well developed character. But when I compare that to the Hobbits or Aragorn or something, I think they did a better job. But it doesn't matter though, because I think Gollum is he is this very strange character that doesn't do much except for just survive.
Yeah.
And I am interested to see if this is it's between when he finds the ring and when.
And the start of the Lord of the Rings story.
So that means that it could indicate that it's the time in which he's taken to Mordor, tortured, and then.
But that would be after he lost the ring to Bilbo.
Yeah, that's true.
Where does the cartoon fit in all this? I've seen the cartoon.
But
They did-
that's before Lord of the Rings.
That's
though.
a Ralph
it's
Ralph
still in
Bakshi,
that.
I want to say, that animation studio.
But yeah, but there's
And they did The Hobbit and I think just Return of the King.
I
then
think
there's
I've
another-
seen The Hobbit. Where he's
some
in the,
good-
where he's in the boat, just doing the he's just like
Yeah,
on the
Golem's
boat.
weird in that movie.
He's like all slow and
paddles
stuff
around
like
a
that.
little boat.
There's some really good,
where did he get the boat?
That's,
Built it.
That's
really
not
good,
canon.
really good songs in those animated
Oh,
films.
totally. But yeah, I know this could cover then that adventurous part, which would be him in Mordor getting tortured and then like intentionally released for Aragorn to be told by Gandalf you should go find him, and then he's like pursued. But like, what is it really going to be? I don't really know.
Yeah, so this is not from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers owns or has the license, the video game license for Peter Jackson's movie version of Lord of the Rings. So this will be something totally different.
Those are the people that make the Shadow War Mordor.
Yeah, they've only done those 2 games, which are pretty different. Anyway, Lord of the Rings Golem coming 2021. All right, this week GameScoop is sponsored by Hims. 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. Fun fact, that's the same percentage of men who are being heckled by children on Fortnite right now. Probably. That's so many. It is too many. None of us deserve that, but good news. Hims is here to help with hair loss, not Fortnite. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss with no waiting rooms and no awkward in-person office visits. 4hims.com can hook you up with well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. Right now, GameScoop listeners can get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. Restrictions apply. See website for full details. A pharmacy would charge you hundreds for that, but we've got the hookup for you because we like you. Go to 4hims.com/GameScoop to get a trial month of Hims for $5. That's FORHIMS.com/GameScoop. 4hims.com/GameScoop.
Yeah. What is it?
It's still Bomberman.
It's still Bomberman. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all Bomberman. Just start
There's
guessing.
gonna be more. There's gonna be more.
Start guessing with Bomberman.
That
that's-
failed for me once.
See, that's how my brain works, though. I have like music association with what parts of it. I know that's the stage select announcement screen in the middle. So good.
Let's share what we've been playing. Who would like to begin?
Not me.
See, I can
Not
start
Mark.
because mine's been mostly
Mark.
the same: Apex Legends, Destiny, and
so
whatever
is
else. But I will say that I'm downloading Sekiro, and
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I got a chance to just get like hands on for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes during a Let's Play. Mitchell Salzman and I, big fans of Ninja Gaiden, obviously on NES for me, but also the Xbox version. We played 1 as a Let's Play, which was like probably my best time playing a Let's Play here at IGN. But that game, I think, is going to
We just had you in a Let's Play.
destroy
You
me.
didn't have any fun?
No, it was not.
Wow,
fun. Yeah,
okay.
the Apex Legends.
Now-
That was
now-
okay. It was okay. But it's not Ninja Gaiden, and this game, I feel like it has a nice mix of both of, maybe a little bit of, people are saying Dark Souls as well. Like, is that...
Well, it's from software, so
Well,
yes.
I know,
definitely.
but to me, it's like, I didn't... So, oh man, I'm gonna get burnt for this. Dark
Well, then
Souls...
stop now.
No, I'm just saying.
That
Dark Souls... just never felt as good as Ninja Gaiden.
Well, Dark Souls is not
and
meant-
I know
okay,
that, and that's what I'm
okay.
saying. But between the two, what would you say this game is more like, Dark Souls or Ninja Gaiden?
Probably Ninja Gaiden, because Dark Souls is, to me, it's like knights in armor kind of deal. And like there are characters that are faster, but for the most part, especially how I've played, it's like sword and board.
All right, I got a
knights
question.
in
Is this
armor.
game more like Wii Sports Resort or like Metal Gear Solid 3?
Which sport specifically? Because that's the one that had the frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm thinking open world, fly wherever you want.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 3, I only know the song, Snake Eater.
You got that in there,
I've never
Damon?
played the game.
Do I got that in
Which
there?
button
song?
is Snake
No, I don't have the
Eater?
song ready to
Oh,
go.
okay.
You should have let me know ahead of time.
I didn't know we were going to talk about Snake
In
Eater.
conclusion, Metal Gear Solid fans should check out this game. But Wii
is not
Sports
what
Resort
I'm-
fans should avoid it. Thanks, Mark.
Dark Souls
Yeah.
and Ninja Gaiden are both good games.
Fans of the Wii Sports
I-
genre.
Sekiro's also going to be good.
It's a weird comparison. I mean, if you want to compare it, you'd compare it to
Mark,
Tenchu.
do you
But
like
regardless,
Sekiro?
Sekiro is fun, but it is so flippin' hard
Yes.
that I
Yes.
don't
You like that?
I do.
I don't know how much I just want to play that right now.
Ooh.
The answer is I actually do know.
Have you beaten
Not
it
that
yet,
much.
or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm like. So I played it for a few hours, but if I played it all again, I could probably do it in like a half hour.
So I started playing Give Me God of War after I played through. So like there's 4 settings on God of War. So basically 1, 2, 3, 1 being ease, 4 being hardest. I played the setting number 3. What is that one called?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, It's the one before Give Me God of War, and I actually loved the game. So that was my first playthrough of it. So yeah, I like super challenging, like kind of punishing type of action games, and I feel like this kind of fits that bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I think so.
Sekiro really, really hard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
It feels good. Like to me, that's where I was
No,
going.
you
with
guys, I think you guys
Dark
need to make a
Souls
distinction here. There's a lot of games that are difficult, but this one makes you backtrack a lot and redo things over and over again.
Yeah.
It's that loop that like the difficulty matters. Like dying really matters because it makes you do something you probably don't want to do again.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a difference.
The punishment for dying is pretty severe, I think.
Yeah, and I
In
mean, so
Sekiro?
yeah, and I think where as long as it feels good, and I've said this multiple times in games, if it feels good to play, like the actual mechanics of the game, which it did from the first 5 or 10 minutes of me playing through the world with the controller, like that is to me what's more important. If the game feels like a slog and I'm fighting with the controls and it's boring, then
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
The buttons all seem to be mapped fine.
Yeah.
It
You're
seems,
oversimplifying
it
it.
I think
seems
I mean,
zippy.
did you play Dark Souls at all?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a big Dark Souls fan.
Yeah, you know how like, when you move in that game, you kind of feel hulking and big
Right, and that's
slow.
why it's a weird
I think that's
comparison
what
to
he's
compare
talking-
that
It
to
is.
Sekiro. You're talking a knight versus a ninja.
Yeah,
to me.
absolutely. Yeah.
Because Sekiro.
But you don't have to defend it. He's asking what the difference is. We're talking about the differences.
Yeah.
And like, I think playing as a ninja might be a good match for a
Yeah.
fighting game like that because you can.
So Dark
Get
Souls
around.
is all about
Not
like,
fighting game, but a combat
approach to an enemy, as in like I'm going to pull him around the corner, or and I'm going to take this enemy on. Sekiro is all about finding other ways to take on enemies. So it's like you see an enemy, probably the last thing you want to do is just run right up to him. You want to try to see if you can sneak around and jump down, or sneak around and stab him from the back and stuff like that.
That's right.
There's things in that game that aren't in other From Software games, like the grapple hook and being able to hang from a ledge and being
Yeah.
able to sneak in bushes. It's cool. It's just so hard.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And Daemon, what do you think?
I spent some time with it this weekend. I've given Dark Souls and Bloodborne a chance in the past. Those games don't click for me, and I found Sekiro to be the same.
Not a Damey game.
Yeah, not a Damey game.
But because of the punishing nature of it, I mean, you could get better. You could learn how to do it, but it's a slog.
But doing that isn't fun. I wasn't enjoying it. I don't think the combat feels particularly good
Okay.
to me. I actually thought the combat in Darksiders 3 felt better, and that's a game that was taking inspiration from Dark Souls.
Right.
So I spent some. I gave that a shot, but it's not for me. But then I played Blaster Master 02, and that game is awesome. I heartily recommend that one because it's from the same team that did Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, and it's another 8-bit style action platformer with really, really cool animation. The controls feel good to play, and it's Blaster Master. I just can't believe Blaster Master should be a forgotten NES game.
It's so good.
Right.
But it's getting this revival.
How are there good new Blaster Master games being made today? It should be like any other B level.
I think it was pretty
NES.
forgotten. I mean, it's like Sunsoft crumbled, and then
This game's from Sunsoft.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know Sunsoft is back.
Do you have stage 1 music queued up there?
No, I didn't.
That'd be so
No.
good.
So bring that one.
Is that on? You're playing on Switch, right?
I think it's only on Switch right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a launch game, or the Wii Shop had a launch game that was a Blaster Master that I didn't ever play.
There was a Blaster Master for WiiWare.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was good or not.
Yeah, can't remember.
Oh no, it was good for sure. We reviewed it and stuff, but
The game I played most this weekend was actually I was testing
Mario
out
64.
I did play a lot of Mario 64. And that's not a joke. I want people to know when I talk about playing Mario 64, I play it a lot, all the time, almost every single day.
Great.
I mean, I put videos up. So, no, I was trying out PlayStation Now, and I didn't realize you could download games now. And so I got hooked on Alien Nation again. I played a lot of Alien Nation back when it first came out. And so I played that most of Saturday. And that is a fun game.
Remind me which one that is.
Alien Nation is the follow-up to Dead Nation.
Okay.
It's by Housemarque.
Yep, gotcha.
I
That was
played
fun.
that.
Yeah, that was top down.
Alien
Did you
Nation.
review it or something?
I didn't review it, but I did
Didn't
some
we play, like, co-op
Let's
together
Plays.
or
I think we did some Let's Plays or something.
Yeah, Alien Nation is awesome. That
good
game's
one.
super cool.
23 years ago, Daemon played his favorite game of all time, and we revisited it 2 weeks ago.
Mario 64.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
okay.
a challenge. And also, I brought it in because it fulfilled two things. That, and then also Mark never plays on 64.
Yeah, I
He's a
don't.
stealing stealer, and he plays it in a different but Mark got to, we said on Monday, we're going to get 120 stars by the end of the week, and we got to 89.
Something like that.
Which is pretty
somewhere in the
good.
height.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them went really fast because Mark chose all the easy ones to do, which was just not helpful in any way.
It
Just wasn't helpful.
I also want to preface that we were playing between work because I don't know. That sounds kind of pathetic.
Instead of
87
work.
stars in a whole week. We could definitely
wasn't
do
even
it
a whole week. It
if
was
we
like 3
want.
days.
Yeah,
It was
and I
like
wasn't.
Wednesday.
I
It
wasn't
started
here.
on Monday.
No one's going to tell on you, Mark.
Well,
Start on Tuesday?
But I wasn't here Monday. You guys got to 24 on your own.
You weren't here Friday either.
And then I wasn't here Friday as well.
Man, short week. Played Mario. Oh,
Yeah, we
man.
played a lot of Mario that
Pretty
week.
rough.
Yeah.
Rough gig.
And then it's been busy. That's because that's what happens. Maybe not for other people.
Then it was busy.
But it's like see, you're gonna give me shit about it. But like that's how it is sometimes. It's like one day you're like, it's so slow. I'm gonna kick back, and then like 2 weeks of
Look,
torture.
I can see you from my desk.
I
Yeah?
can see you
if
too.
If you're kicking back at work, I need to know about this.
Sam,
I'm gonna
you
look
can
for those
see
legs
me
going up.
playing Mario 64. It's at your desk. That's what I'm talking about. I don't try to hide it. But now it's just they're so busy. I haven't even been able to think about it.
Should we play California games this week?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Do we have that in the
Good.
office?
I don't know if we do. We need it though.
California games?
Absolutely.
What's that?
Oh, it's an NES classic.
Well, it's a multi-platform game.
it is, but the best one was on NES.
It's a multi-platform classic.
Yeah. Well, I looked at after we were playing the music, I looked at some of the gifts online, and the NES one.
After we were playing Louie.
That's right. Yeah. After you look at the rollerblade one, by far the best Wipeout is the NES one. This is the most violent.
It's
like you're
amazing.
Just skating. It's like
There's
yeah.
these
That
face
was-
plants, and they're so
That was in the
good.
music video for Scrape.
exactly. Oh, there you go. It's a big face plant.
My big takeaway from revisiting Mario 64 is that it's still amazing.
Yes.
Probably still my favorite game of all time, but the camera is terrible. Wrestling with the camera today is
tricky.
You're fighting with a 23-year-old camera.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
The camera's
Yeah.
really, really.
It has its moments where, like, I can't believe they were able to accomplish this with the camera.
Yeah.
But then there's parts where you're trying to make a jump happen, and it's like the camera switches so
Cloud.
badly that you just miss it.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't know is if you're in Lakitu cam, which is your normal, just zoomed out cam, if you push C down and R at the same time, you switch to Mario cam, but without zooming in. So then it becomes a free cam. Yeah,
That's good to know. Pro tip.
How does it lock in that form?
No, so if you push it again, it'll go back to Lakitu. But you know how Mario cam is like you do
I thought it was
R.
only first person.
Right. Well, not first person, but super zoomed in. Yeah. So if you push C down and R at the same time, it goes to Mario Cam without zooming in. So then
Is that
you
a
can,
glitch?
I mean, I guess it could be. You're pushing two buttons at the same time.
You only have to do it once.
Two buttons at once?
Like, yeah, I know.
Hardcore
Like, I don't know. I don't know if you
I
count
just
as a
wonder if
glitch.
that's in the manual.
That's a weird one. I don't know. But yeah, anytime you can't get the camera to do what you want it to do, C down, R at the same time, switches to free cam. You can do whatever you want.
Life hack. And that brings us to video game 20 questions.
Don't know it.
It's Bomberman.
Still.
Our suggestion this week comes from Will Ard in Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up?
Let the questioning begin.
Do you know where Georgia is?
Is that my
Geography.
question?
Tough.
Rough idea, but no, I couldn't pin it out. Probably on the.
It's like above Florida.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Where's Florida?
It's that south one.
Oh, okay.
Canadians know where Florida is.
Right next to Texas. Got it.
Hey, Damon.
Optical disc. Is that where you on an optical medium for
That's
this game?
not a question.
No, whatever. That's how I'm going to start it.
That's just a word.
It was this game released on an optical medium.
Yes.
There you go.
That means a disc, right?
Yeah, it's a weird way to ask
Got
it,
it.
but
Yeah.
Got it. Why don't you just say disc next time?
I could do that. But
Is this a
there's-
first party game?
yes.
Ooh. All right, so it's definitely Mario Sunshine. All right. Was this game released after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Ooh,
no,
okay. No, this is good. This is good. We're kind of got like a 10-year window there, maybe.
Well, I mean, but it's if it's a disc.
Well, that's what I
so
mean.
we got Sega Saturn,
PlayStation, Saturn,
Sega Saturn,
and Dreamcast.
PlayStation, and Dreamcast.
And
Yeah.
some really weird ones.
Yeah. Sega CD. Just wanted to I feel like we should lean into PlayStation here.
Could be.
Yeah. Was this was this for the PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay.
Eh.
So we're pretty much
So it's a PlayStation first party
Wait,
game.
first party.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Should we find out if it's on one of those funny black discs?
I thought that was every PlayStation game.
That was most of them, yeah. Just that coating that was on the bottom of them.
Eco's not on one.
Really?
First party.
Eco is first party.
What's the right question?
We don't need to jump to eco, but
Let's not lead with Eco.
Let's just finish this.
So what are the first party games? Parappa, Eco.
Is Eco PS1? I thought it was PS2.
Oh, maybe it is.
Okay.
But it's on a CD.
Yeah. Or it could be Spyro the Dragon or Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh, that's right. Could be Crash. Maybe it's a mascot related question.
Yeah, is this a mascot game?
No.
No. Okay. Crash.
That's
is out.
5 questions.
No Crash.
No Spyro.
No Spyro.
That's not first
Spyro.
party anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Spyro's not.
It's
of
acting.
course.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course.
Huh. First party PlayStation 1.
Is this game rated M or more or higher? I mean, like M or T. What's the one after it?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Interesting?
Dude, I am like, it's every time
Not
I
Jammer Lammy.
Every time I think of a game, I'm thinking of a SquareSoft game. Like for me,
Well, stop doing that. It's not helpful
was
for us.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like to me,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
because
yeah.
the only I played like
All the
Fair
Final
Side Eve,
Yeah.
Brave Fencer Musashi, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like those were.
Well, should we? Yeah, we should probably narrow down the genre then. We should go like either platformer maybe or like or RPG.
What about Wipeout?
Oh. Should I ask if it's a racing game?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying. I don't
mean-
know much about PlayStation, so I need your help.
Right.
No,
That's what I'm struggling
That's a pretty good
with.
one. Okay.
But that
Could
wouldn't be rated
Could
M,
be
right?
Grand Turismo. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be a racing game because he said rated M.
Oh, unless
Do you-
wait, what? No, well, I'm thinking. No,
many-
David Jaffe's game wasn't.
Was it God
Oh,
of War?
Twisted Metal.
Twisted
That's
Metal?
first party.
Is it first
good.
party?
Yeah.
Do you operate vehicles in this game?
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh, could be Twisted Metal.
At least, I mean,
Oh,
your character does.
okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it still applies.
Okay.
Was
Does your vehicle have weapons? Not Twisted Metal. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it does.
You didn't get a check
That's a
for
free
that.
one.
Well,
That's a free one.
okay. So we should
Oh,
ask maybe
well-
the clown in the game.
No. If
No?
he
You
doesn't
think-
know if it has weapons,
You don't think?
it's not
Oh,
Twisted
okay,
Metal.
okay.
I think he would know.
Well, I'm
Twisted
trying to think
Metal
of like an
has weapons.
M-rated freaking racing.
Does this game have a sequel from after 2010?
Yes.
Whoa.
Wow. Dude. Okay. So, wait, after 2010, so PS3, PS4. Oh. What was that?
What? What?
It's a PlayStation 1 game with sequels now that's first party.
Right.
We look at Daemon for visual confirmation. The
lot
everybody out there,
of it.
this is what you
A lot
can't
of it.
see
What has
that's
Sony
happening in
even
the background.
published that went back that far?
Just to
That-
clarify, I said this game was first party. That doesn't necessarily mean the sequels were.
That's what I'm saying is when he made that face, it makes me think that it's possibly not first party anymore.
I quit.
Put him back on.
Logistics
We're
too much
doing
for
this.
Sam.
Took
No, we got
took
it.
my thing. I can't hear you guys anymore.
Okay, nobody. I'm 2 feet away from you, Sam.
Right next to
And
you.
for the audience
Without
out
the
there,
headphones.
Damon is at. He's holding 7.
No,
or
this is
8. See, they can't even see it.
It's not that time. That's the boss music for when you guys get to 15.
Whoa!
can't hear it.
This is
Spoilers.
boss music. Okay, he's got 8 fingers up. 7 fingers.
questions down.
1 thumb.
I've got 2 thumbs up.
That's true.
Is this game? Would you just? Well, we already did.
It's mature. That's what I mean, man.
Do you shoot guns in this game?
You can, yes. That's a possibility.
Didn't help.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that was a given. But
Was the first Tomb Raider published by Sony in some way?
I'm also wondering.
I-
Well, no, because I mean it's vehicle based. He said your character drives a car.
But no, that just means it happens.
Grand Theft Auto was never first party, right?
It could. Maybe there was a Grand Theft Auto published by Sony on a Sony system, but I don't know which one. Why that would.
Because it wouldn't be first party anymore, but it could have been back
then.
Do you,
Okay. Hang on.
do you steal cars in this game?
No. That's 10 questions down.
Was this game developed in Japan?
Yes.
Okay. See, we need to do stuff like that before we do the specific things.
Yeah, it's too specific.
Because the
Okay.
Rockstar's in San Diego or
Right.
northern.
Do we still don't? We don't know the platform at all, though, do we? Like, or we don't know the genre. I mean,
No, we don't
Like,
know the
if it's a
genre.
platformer, or if it's like a. I mean, we could ask that.
But it's Japanese. Okay.
I mean, well, it said there's vehicles though, right?
Yeah. And some shooting. What are Sony games that could be that way?
I don't know. I mean,
It's tough.
What about like
is this an RPG game?
Yes.
Okay. This can't be Final Fit. This
No,
can't be.
that's not first party.
no,
It's not
Square
first party.
always Square published that. So it could be Parasite Eve.
That's Square as well.
I don't know a lot of these games, so there's like
I don't know either.
That's what I'm thinking. Like
not Grandia. Is that one of them?
Grandia.
And then there's what is the game that you and I were just talking about when we got pizza, but you can't.
Suikoden?
Yeah, Suikoden.
I don't know who made Suikoden. I don't know.
So, RPG.
Yeah.
Is this a futuristic RPG?
But wait, does Suikoden? Was there sequels after 2010?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so. There's. Go ahead.
Do you want to ask that question? Is it a futuristic RPG?
You don't know.
I need some clarification on what you mean by
Right.
futuristic.
Yeah, I understand. There's the Valkyria games, and
Oh,
then
yeah?
there's the there's those, and then there's the ones about music. I just don't know my JRPGs from that.
I don't either. No, I don't. That was that window where I didn't actually. I owned PlayStation 1 late prior to PlayStation 2.
That's all I played, but
And then
it's Squaresoft.
was this game there's one in the PlayStation Classic.
Oh, ask that question.
That's weird. I don't think that'll help.
You don't think so?
We'll eliminate that.
No, I just don't know the name of it, so it's not going to help. This is going to be really hard.
Wait, but what's the game?
I feel
What
like
are
you
you
should
doing?
ask that question.
But I don't know the name of the game.
But like, what are you doing it?
I can just look it up on the internet real quick.
Heck if I know.
Oh, you don't know. Oh, okay.
I thought am I right that there's another RPG in the Classic Collection that's not one of these main ones?
Wild Arms.
Wild Arms. That's what I was thinking of.
But I don't know. I have no idea who made Wild Arms.
All right, we're at 12
Have
questions.
we mentioned the game yet?
That's your official
Yeah.
question? Yes.
What? It could be Wild Arms.
It probably is.
You
Is this in
think
the
so?
PlayStation Classic Collection?
No.
Okay.
Not Wild Arms.
14.
Unless it's Wild Arms 2.
I think we're looking at Suikoden or
Could be
Valkyria
Suikoden.
Chronicles or
Well, I mean, there's not really much else we can do. Why don't you just ask?
What about-
well, no, I don't know how to narrow those down.
What about Arc
Well,
Lad?
we have 4 questions.
We
That's
already
probably not
mentioned it.
everybody.
The game.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
we mentioned it.
We haven't
We used the
talked about
hack.
Arc Lad. Okay, so
Use the hack.
it could be Suikoden. I have a weird question that could possibly narrow it down.
What is Valkyria Chronicles? Is it a strategy RPG?
I don't know.
Would
really
you describe this as a strategy RPG?
No.
Okay.
That's 15. The boss music begins.
Oh man.
Because Valkyria is. It is a strategy RPG. What is Wild Arms? Is that like a cowboy game?
I mean, it's a JRPG with like a cowboy theme to it. Yeah.
Does this have a cowboy theme to it?
No, he said it's not on PlayStation
Oh,
Classic,
okay.
and Wild Arms is.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Good call. Good call.
So Suikoden, Jared Petty loves Suikoden.
Yeah, everybody loves Suikoden too, but I just don't know how to narrow it down because I don't know anything about Suikoden.
Okay. So
Oh, is this game renowned for its story?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
All
I was
signs
gonna
point
ask
to
the
Suikoden.
Jared,
I mean, it's
I was
like-
gonna ask the Jared Petty question.
The story is one of the things that people like about this game a lot.
Yeah.
Boss music returns.
We're at 16 questions.
I feel like we just.
Kingdom Hearts wasn't published by Sony, was it?
That's PS2.
I feel like you could
and
just
no,
literally
Square
ask
Enix.
the 3 questions.
We've already said the game name.
Yeah.
So Parasite
Yeah.
Eve, Suikoden.
It can't be Parasite Eve. That's Square.
Yeah.
And no sequels after 2010. Oh, unless you count like 23rd birthday or whatever. Does Jared Petty love this game's sequel?
I have no idea.
Okay, that probably would be that then.
So that's a free one. That one doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
Can't answer.
Okay. I don't know enough about Suikoden. The one thing
Well,
I
could
do
there be
know.
any other games that we mentioned that this is?
I don't know.
You guys aren't. We're not going to get any further in this.
No,
right?
we're not. That's why I
Bro.
think we should just ask each of the games.
Bro.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, once you
No, if
ask,
you ask
get it
wrong.
wrong, you're out.
Is this Suikoden?
You're asking if it's Suikoden?
Well, what are we going to do?
Okay.
Hold on. You have 4 questions left.
They are no help, and I've given up.
Here's
Okay,
a hint.
okay,
I don't
okay.
know.
Here's
okay.
the hint. You guys know you've said the game. You've
Yeah.
also said some misinformation about the game.
Yeah, I know.
So you're wrong about something.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the
I bet
publishing.
we're wrong about publisher.
Yeah, we're definitely wrong about publishing.
This is a first party game because Sony published it.
Okay, so it's definitely not.
Okay, was this developed by Square?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So it's going to be Final Fantasy VII.
or 8 or 9,
nine, or
or
Paras-
Tactics,
and it's-
or Parasite Eve, or
but-
Parasite Eve 2.
Yeah. Is this part of the Final Fantasy series?
Yes.
Okay.
way.
Okay.
Two questions
Okay.
Why did we
Here we go.
eliminate
We
that?
got this.
It's not a
We got
strategy
this.
RPG, so it's not tactics.
So it's not tactics. So now we got to, with one question, we have to narrow down whether it's 7, 8, or 9.
Does this
I can
game
do
have
this.
an even number in it?
Wait. Oh, no, because it doesn't narrow it down enough.
Yeah, it does.
No,
It's
because,
3 games. It can only.
but if he says no, it could be 7 or 9.
Well, then we have 50-50.
Does this game have a prime number in it? No, that doesn't work either.
Hold on. Let's.
Is this game's number
wait.
divisible by?
We can be smart about
That would
this.
work.
We have
Two
one
questions,
question
two
to
questions.
figure out. Wait, I almost had it. Fool, there's no way.
Are there characters that are shared between those two games?
No. Chocobos?
But does one of them not have chocobos?
Nope. They all have them.
Remember how you couldn't answer my future question? It's probably not 7.
Well, 8 possibly takes place in like a kind of futuristic.
But 9 is
deal.
clearly a fantasy game.
9 is definitely old fantasy.
I don't know what to
The
do.
final
I feel like
variety.
there's such an elegant
Oh,
way
it's
to
not
do
in the
this.
PlayStation Classic.
Wait, yeah, so it's not 7, so it's either 8 or 9.
Hold on.
Oh, that's perfect.
Hold on. 7's in the PlayStation Classic?
Yeah.
Wait,
I didn't think it was.
yeah, 7 is definitely. So okay, so I think it's 7. Okay,
Exactly
is the
me
main
too.
character of this game Cloud Strife?
Yes.
Okay, is it Final Fantasy 7?
There it is.
I did not realize Final Fantasy VII was in the PlayStation.
We got robbed.
Well, okay, so it was a weird outcome. So Daemon lost, but Mark and I won, but CJ has not won yet.
No, but
I would say that
I
was a
helped
collaborative
out.
effort.
CJ, 100. Plus 2
Plus 2.
times 3 divided by 10.
Hang on.
He's working it out.
Divided by 10. Oh, this is old school math.
I already know what it is.
Wait, let me see.
This is good.
do we got?
I need a.
100 plus 2.
I need a
Wait,
calculator.
what's this?
Times 3.
Oh, you said times 3. So it's 306 divided by 10.
Yes.
This is 306 divided by 10.
It's going to be a decimal. All right.
3.06.
It's 30.6. CJ lost. But Mark, congratulations.
Yay, we did it.
Mark and Sam.
We also could have
Nicely job.
Final Fantasy 7 out on Switch today.
Yeah, it is out.
came out today.
That's what made me think this was.
So guess what?
That's a great one.
I literally put the deaths when I was doing the
just
math
did the deaths.
in the wrong place, and I would have lost.
Yeah.
More
Would've lost.
Final
You could have
Fantasy on
lost
this show.
$200 million.
That's what we need.
That-
That'd have been bad. I felt
Canadian
all
lottery.
confident. I was like, oh, what? Oh, whoops.
So Final Fantasy VII is on the PlayStation Classic. I was wrong about that.
Oh, there's so much wrong with this. I don't even think it was published by Sony.
It was. Developed by Square, published by Sony, worldwide, outside of Japan. For our intents and purposes.
You can shoot stuff in it.
Yeah.
What's the vehicle thing is the airship.
Well, and
He also
Cloud
has a car.
rides a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's a
But I didn't know if it
motorcycle.
had weapons.
So
But he has like a Land Rover before you get the high wind.
Can you see your hands?
said Final Fantasy.
Well, they're blocked.
They're blocked.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one. Well, define hands.
Fine hands.
Because I was thinking Twisted.
Can you see your fingers?
Also, if they're gloves, can you see your hands?
Oh, this goes back to the hat question.
Well, Barrett has one of his hands as a gun, and so it's just a brown block opposed to,
Yeah, I was thinking Twisted.
I think this whole show's been a brown block.
Guys, you know what we should enjoy
I'm
right
glad
now?
you got there.
We should enjoy a cool glass of milk.
Bagman.
Bring out the bag.
No, we're going to go play Mappy.
Bring out the bag. Oh, yeah, we're going to go play Mappy.
All right.
Nicely job, everybody. Remember, listeners, if you have your own suggestions for 20 questions, email them to me at gamescoop@ign.com. That's all the scoops we have for you this week. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, CJ.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
My name is Daemon. This is IGN Gamescoop, and we're out.